Good morning, students. As we were learning about the topic problems of deficient demand and excess demand, let us proceed with the topic further. Chapter number 8, problems of deficient demand. We started the deficient demand reasons, factors why the deficiency in demand arises. Very first factor we have learned, that is the income. As demand is related to income of the people when they find less as compared to the prices of the product, definitely they demand less. As they will be getting underemployment, definitely a situation will be arising of zero income. That level also demand will decrease. So these are the various factors we have learned. Now we will be going to learn deflationary gap and its measurement. As we learned the inflationary gap and its measurement, we have learned the deflationary gap. Deflations due to deflationary gap, we have learned in the last class causes and consequences of deficient demand or deflationary gap also. I want to explain you once again the deflationary gap and the causes and consequences. Consequences we have to start, but still a revise must be there. Deflationary gap means what? A shortfall in the aggregate demand from the level required to maintain full employment equilibrium in the economy. Like for example, some of the situations, student, when we are having overemployed, means machines capacity has been reduced. Maybe one factor, machinery has been reduced from 10 to 8. Now to manage the cost through the 8 number of workers, if we reduce the number of workers also from 10 machinery, the 10 workers, if they were in the 9th and 10th machinery, if 10 workers were there, now we will remove because machinery 9th and 10th has been removed, so 10 worker reduced to just to make full employment equilibrium. That way the demand of the goods also decrease. In such a situation, there is involuntary unemployment in the economy, means people want to work but they had been removed from the job just because capacity of the organization has been down. Now to make according to the less capacity full employment, they had reduced the number of employees. 100 workers were working, now according to the capacity 90 are required, so 10 will be removed from the job for a temporary purpose or a longer period of time. That will make that person's people under involuntary unemployed. So this involuntary unemployment will make reduce because these people income will be zero, and when income is will zero, then aggregate demand will reduce. Okay, deflationary gap is measured as the difference between aggregate demand corresponding to full employment minus desired aggregate demand corresponding to underemployment. If we take the difference between two, we will get the aggregate demand. The point to a situation when the factors of production are not fully employed and the economy is operating in a situation of underemployment equilibrium, deficiency of aggregate demand is the root cause behind this situation. Okay, now we will be seeing causes and consequences of deficient demand or deflationary gap. Causes, when we see, student, in a two-sector closed economy, deficiency of aggregate demand occurs largely due to two factors. Very first, reduction in private consumption expenditure. See, the private consumption expenditure is an important component of aggregate demand. Reduction in private consumption expenditure causes a serious deficiency in aggregate demand. Private consumption expenditure may reduce owing to several reasons. However, the most important is reduction in propensity to consume or increase in propensity to save. In advanced economics, you can see what I explained in last class by recalling these points. So after recalling these points, what I said, you can see there are consequences what happens in the situation of deficiency of aggregate demand. Following is the answer. As we learned the reasons, so it is not needed. Like for example, reduction in government expenditure, decline in exports. So may I think the points are clear. What I said, recall, you have recalled that all the points. Causes, as I already explained to you, so I said to see and just recall the point what we have learned. The very first says private consumption expenditure, as the people will get underemployed, their income will decrease and this will affect to their consumption level also. As the consumption level will decline, aggregate demand will also decline. Reduction in investment expenditure, when we see investment expenditure is the other important component of aggregate demand. Any reduction in investment expenditure implies a reduction in aggregate demand also. Now we will say reduction in government expenditure. If the government is not able to earn the revenue in the given proportionate given time, definitely the expenditure made by the government will not be so high and their demand will be going down. Okay, what I want to say, when the revenue of the government, that is a source of income for the government on the basis of which they make the expenditure for the welfare of the society, they will be reducing it, because if their income is not getting proper, definitely it will be increase. So government expenditure is of vital significance in welfare economics. However, there could be situations when public enterprises pile up huge losses owing to their inefficiencies. In such a situation, instead of making fresh investment, the government may resort to disinvestment, withdrawal of investment by selling its shares from the companies, decline in exports. X. Definitely students, when the people of our country will not be having the capacity to produce more of goods so that they can be exported, and when our value of the goods is, quality of the good is not high, it is not maintained, and the next reason is their decline in export can be the reason, because the goods which we are exporting, its price is high as compared to the foreign goods. Definitely the export will be reduced. Okay, so decline in export may occur due to lack of demand in rest of the world. I given the reason for decline in the demand. Maybe that goods which we are exporting, it is available in foreign countries at a less cost, the quality we had not able to maintain, then also export can be declined, and if export will be declined, definitely students, aggregate demand will be showing down. We know exports are an important component of aggregate demand, and export implies a fall in export implies a fall in expenditure on the domestically produced goods and services. Rise in imports, when we talk students, it is a situation when our same reasons will be there. If in our country the goods are at higher prices, people will start demanding the goods from outer side country where they will get at cheap rate the same goods. So that will encourage the people to import more the goods as compared to demand less the domestically produced goods. So that will give rise to import, which will be showing aggregate demand to be decline of our country made goods. Increase in tax rates. Definitely student, when the tax rate develops or it increases, people become habitual of purchasing less. Their consumption expenditure will go down, because they will at such a higher rate of tax, they don't prefer to do more consumption of the goods, so aggregate demand will fall down. So these were the reason of falling down of aggregate demand. Now we will be moving to the consequences, result, what the result and what the outcome will be there of this. What happens in a situation of deficiency of aggregate demand? So that falling is the answer word. When aggregate demand does not permit fuller utilization of the factors, unwanted inventory stock tends to pile up with the producer. Definitely when your supply is more, in this situation aggregate demand is less than aggregate supply. It means aggregate supply, if it is more, the goods with the producer is more, the stock is overcrowded. So when aggregate demand does not permit fuller utilization of the factors, unwanted inventory stock tends to pile up with the producer. Actual stocks greater than desired planned stocks. Unwanted inventory stocks are idle inventory stocks. These stocks force more producers to cut their level of planned output, implying a cut in planned aggregate supply. Reduction in the level of planned output leads to reduction in employment. It implies a situation in the level of income. The economy is caught into a low level equilibrium trap when income is low because demand is low, and demand is low because income is low. Definitely situation will be like that only. As the consumption level will be low, producer will not be getting income. If they will not get the income, they will not be able to invest more and they will not increase the production, as already they are having the unsold stock with them. This situation will give birth again and again to this particular situation. In a situation of deficient demand, the economy is caught into a low level equilibrium trap. Level of income and employment is low because demand is low, and demand is low because income and employment is low. So parallelly it will be working and it will be not good for our country. Excess demand situation. Excess demand refers to that situation, student, when aggregate demand is in excess of aggregate supply, corresponding to full employment in the economy. So excess demand must be there because it will increase the GDP of our country. Aggregate demand, if it is too much greater than aggregate supply, that is also not good. Okay, excess demand refers to the situation when aggregate demand is in excess of aggregate supply. It means full employment in the economy. That's why people are demanding and supply is becoming less as compared to demand. It implies two situations now. Planned aggregate demand in the economy happens to exceed its full employment level. So that aggregate demand is no longer a factor that induces utilization of excess capacity. The level of aggregate demand or planned expenditure surpasses the level of aggregate supply. Even when the available factors are fully utilized, then also aggregate demand will be more than the aggregate supply. It crosses the aggregate supply. So these are the two factors when the aggregate demand will be greater than aggregate supply. So these red lines you can underline and you can note down, and if any situation it asks if excess demand is there, what will be happening. So you can write that planned aggregate demand in the economy happens to exceed its full employment, and the second what you will be going to learn, the level of aggregate demand or planned expenditure surpasses the level of aggregate supply. So these are the two causes. Now we will be proceeding to the next. Aggregate demand factor indicates full employment level of aggregate demand, and aggregate demand E is desired aggregate demand in excess of its full employment level. The difference between ADE and ADF we will take, it will be considering as excess demand. Okay. Now what does excess demand lead to? What will be result? Nothing new in terms of the equilibrium level of output, simply because the level of output in terms of the quantum of goods and services cannot be raised owing to the fact that the available resources are already fully utilized. At best, excess demand raises the market value of the output because quantum of output remaining constant. Higher demand, higher than the supply, leads to a rise in the general price level, implying a situation of inflationary gap in the economy discussed as under. What do you mean by inflationary gap and how it is measured? Inflationary gap is the excess of aggregate demand over above its level required to maintain full employment equilibrium in the economy. When it crosses a certain level, like for example now inflationary gaps are there. People income, though we know it increased, but not so much increase as the price has been increased in the market. You know the prices of petrol, prices of vehicle is more than the income of the person, but still there are people are there to go with the situation and can handle the situation to purchase the things by crediting in the market, by taking loan from the market. So that situation says that aggregate demand is more as compared to why it is more going up. Okay, so consumption level is going up, aggregate. So this situation when prices of the goods is increasing as well as income as compared to income of the person, and then still aggregate demand is there, that will give the situation of inflationary gap. A situation of inflationary pressure emerges in the economy. Inflationary is when output level remains constant, means aggregate supply is constant, but corresponding to that full employment only prices tends to rise. Inflationary because demand is increasing, and when the demand will increase, price of the goods increase. Inflationary pressure is proportionate to excess demand. Greater the excess demand, greater the inflationary pressure. Accordingly, a situation of excess demand is often identified as a situation of inflationary gap in the economy. Inflationary gap is a measure of excess demand. Inflationary gap is the excess of aggregate demand over aggregate above its level required to maintain full employment equilibrium in the economy. Inflationary gap is measured as the difference between aggregate demand beyond full employment and aggregate demand at full employment. Point C, Can aggregate demand beyond full employment generate more output? No, because at that situation, according to aggregate demand, aggregate supply cannot be increased, because aggregate supply is dependent on the resources available in the society. Resources can be have alternative use, but the main factor is supply factors. Resources, what is needed, it is scarce. Scarcity of resources is the economic problem of our country and other countries, we have learned. So the supply cannot be increased as parallel to aggregate demand, because supply needs resources and resources in the country are scarce, and we can do if we have to manage, then definitely we have to make alternative use of resources, but resources cannot be increased as our production capacity. So that factor showed no, it cannot be possible. According to aggregate demand, aggregate supply cannot be increased. So in that situation will give birth to inflationary gap. Excess demand in that situation will be aggregate demand E minus aggregate demand F equals to CF. Now we will see causes and consequences of excess demand or inflationary gap. When we see causes, causes of excess demand are almost opposite to those of deficient demand. Briefly, there are two principal causes of excess of aggregate demand in a two-sector closed economy. Increase in private consumption expenditure, C, which may occur owing to increase in propensity to consume or decrease in propensity to save. In countries like India, propensity to consume has tended to rise owing to the integration of Indian economy with rest of the world, which has led to demonstration affecting consumption. Increase in investment expenditure, I, which may occur owing to bullish business expectations. Business expectations are bullish when the producers expect high return from the investment. Business expectations are bearish when the producers do not expect high returns from their investment. These factors I will be going to explain you in the next classes. But before that, in an open economy with government, there are following additional causes of excess aggregate demand. We can see increasing government expenditure owing to its expanding commitments for the development as well as welfare projects in the economy. Like in our country now has to compete with other countries. Now the developmental program is increasing. Government expenditure is increasing as owing to its revenue. Increase in exports owing to lower domestic prices in relation to international prices. Decrease in imports owing to higher international prices compared with domestic prices. A cut in tax rate leaving higher disposable income with the people. So these are the factors which will increase the demand of the goods. Aggregate demand will be increasing. Then in the next class I will be explaining all these factors one by one once again. Thank you for today's class. Have a nice day.